Most people waste time, they waste energy, and they waste attention. There's skills that help you make money. Making money is a skill. Yeah, at the age of 16, moved to the United States with $200 in a suitcase, went from pressure washing basketball courts, cleaning toilets, flipping wings at a Buffalo Wild Wings, sleeping in my car for a time being. It was about like 4 or 5 months, to eventually getting exposed to Bitcoin. I heard of Bitcoin in 2015 for the first time. Every day, the restaurant gives you those tips. That is your payday, basically. So I would get that cash tip. I would drive to the ATM and I would deposit that money. I remember depositing the money. It was a Wells Fargo bank account. And since it's a cash deposit, you see the money instantly displayed in your bank account. So I would instantly get on my computer and I would go to an exchange called Bitstamp. And Bitstamp was an OG exchange. You know, it doesn't have a lot of liquidity or popularity right now, but back in the day, you could use your debit card to actually purchase Bitcoin on that exchange. So I would every single day use 50% of my money that I would make that day to buy Bitcoin. At that time, it was a couple $100, $500, $600. This was the end of like 2015, 2016. So pre the bull run of 2017. 2016, I got exposed to e-commerce through a couple of buddies, through the internet. Back in the day, Shopify didn't have all these crazy plugins. I remember the App Store was very new on Shopify. And I remember I would have to learn the basics of coding to like code in my own, the own size of my checkout button, the color of my checkout button. Did quite well in e-commerce. I rode the wave of crypto in 2017, up and down. I wrote it down. I didn't make a ton of money. Why? Because I didn't understand market cycles. I think I did 140 to 160x on my portfolio. I forget, but I lost it all. Is look at Cardano, right? Cardano went from half a penny to $1.60. I rode that entire thing. It was like 2 to 3 weeks. Same thing with Tron. Tron, I think, went from like a penny to like 30 cents or something like that. And then XRP went from 13 cents all the way to $3.50. So it was a great season, but the issue was I didn't understand market cycles. I was left holding the bag. It was the hodl, right?
Yeah.
The hold on for dear life. And I held on for dear life and I got fucked. 1.5 years later, the market tends to have a really good season. So I was like, it's going to happen again. And it did. But this time I was prepared. And in 2020, after doing $16 million in e-commerce, did quite well there, had some money already saved up. I put all of my money into crypto except $10,000. Boy, I was in the DeFi boom of 2019, so I saw Uniswap do extremely well. I was like, you know, there's something interesting with DeFi. It wasn't very popular, but that which is not popular is often a good idea. Now, by no means am I perfect, but it worked out pretty well. I remember being on Clubhouse, it was in 2020, and CZ from Binance hopped on there and he was giving a kind of like a Clubhouse meeting with other crypto people. I tuned in and I got the opportunity to ask him a question because I remember buying BNB in 2017 for $2. So the BNB token, which went to $600+, I was one of the first people that was actually buying BNB for $2 when the exchange was extremely new. I said, okay, BNB, it's correlated to what? The exchange. So there needs to be more growth factors and more kind of coal to the fire to keep the engines running. So I went back and I was like, dude, like maybe I shouldn't be betting on projects. Maybe I should be betting on people. And I bet on CZ. So I purchased, at that time, PancakeSwap was $25 million market cap. Very small. I purchased 1% of the supply for $250,000. And from 25 million, it went up to a $2.6 billion market cap. I sold, I think, at about $36. I remember sitting in Mexico, $36, cashed out. And it went up to, I think, $42, $43, cashed out of Bitcoin at 55,000, cashed out of Ethereum at 2,950 or something quite high. And it worked. In 2017, I became a millionaire on paper and lost it. And I was like, okay, like, shit, I don't want to do this again. So in 2018, made my money with crypto, became a millionaire again, go learn how to make money. Go learn how to develop cash flow. Go learn how to build a business. I had enough money whereby if I lost that money in crypto, I knew I was going to make it again. But it was a bet I was willing to take. And I took the bet and it worked. The markets are completely tied to the policy of the Fed, right? So when the Fed decides to print money or they decide to buy assets, that's when the market pumps. And when they say, hey, we're no longer buying assets, the market dumps. And you need to correlate the people that work at the Fed. They put out, it was a big announcement. They said, hey, we are selling all of our assets because it is a conflict of interest for us to be in the markets while the markets are still exist. Within 30 days, that was the top. I sold when they put out that announcement.
Yeah.
It only made sense. And you have to increase your probabilities by increasing your skill set. And that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't work and they don't increase their skill set. Leonardo da Vinci famously said, God will sell you anything at the price of labor. And that is true. So what you have to do is if you want something, you have to work for it. And most people that think that the world is based off of luck have never truly worked for something. Not enough to understand that luck does not exist. It's merely a game of probabilities. You work hard, you work more, you work longer, and eventually you can increase your odds of success. Everybody eventually will capitulate into crypto because it is an asset class that will exist. And we go into a digital world, you need digital money. So from a logical standpoint, it makes sense. Crypto makes sense. And what we need to understand is that there's ebbs and flows of the market, there's demand, and at the end of the day, there's also saturation. At some point, there is no more money for it to continue going. And I saw that with crypto. Maybe I got lucky selling at 55,000, but does it really matter? Most people walk around with no goals, no ambition. They don't know where they're going. It's like a ship with no destination. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. Once you know where you want to go, then you direct your time, your energy, and your attention to what? To the execution and the achievement of that goal. If you want to make money, you will make money. If you want a good network, you will have a good network. If you want to build a great podcast with great hosts and great guests, you will build a podcast in that way. It's all about intention. But most people walk around in life thinking that life is just a big fat lottery. And it's just not that case. Those that live by the lottery of life most likely end up losing because you're just gambling. You get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. Elon Musk said that once. You get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. Most people that don't make money, they don't solve problems. They don't spot problems. They don't capitalize on problems. If you solve small problems, you'll get paid very little. The guy flipping the patties, like Tate says, somebody's got to flip the fucking burgers.
It's true.
Naval Ravikant famously said, people that live beyond their means do not experience peace. Then he says, people that live below their means will experience a level of peace that those above their means will never experience. So freedom can be experienced. You don't have to be making a ton of money. So my objective was freedom, right? And I achieved that by sleeping $200 a month on a couch to then focus what? My time, energy, and attention to making more money. But a lot of motherfuckers live beyond their means. Their time and energy and focus is what? Spent on paying their bills. They're in a relationship that's toxic, that is not supporting their endeavors and their goals. So they spend their time, energy, and attention supplying that person. Their friends, right? They're not good friends. So they spend their time, energy, and attention with people that are not ROI positive. And their daily actions and their habits, right? They spend their time, energy, and attention on those things that yield no result. But the problem is nobody knows how to listen to themselves. They're scrolling on TikTok, music on loud every day. When they're driving, fucking radio turned on. When they're home scrolling on their phones. When they ask for opinions, they ask for opinions from other people. They ain't even asking opinions from themselves. They're going to a fucking psychologist, asking a psychologist for wisdom and advice on how to live their lives. And they're paying this motherfucker money. And all you are is a client, so might as well keep this person sick as long as possible, or deranged, or in the loop of coming and sitting on the chair. Why? Because they're paying for the fucking mortgage. Happiness is an emotion, so it comes and goes. So anybody that's pursuing something that's fleeting will not be able to hold on to it. Why? Because you cannot be a happy person all the time. So to pursue happiness is an unachievable goal. The only reason you have a 9 to 5, people are like, well, I have responsibilities. You established these responsibilities on yourself. You decided how much you were going to pay for rent. You decided how much you were going to pay for that car. You have a kid, you decide to fuck that bitch. It's your responsibility. Every aspect of your life, every responsibility that you have is self-imposed for the most part. There are exceptions. So your question is, how much responsibility do you want? Wealth, by definition, my friend, is not money, it's abundance. Abundance. Do you live an abundant life? Are you healthy? Do people love you? Do you love people? Do you walk around with joy and gratitude? Are you financially stable? Are you free? Do you have the ability to do what you want, wherever you want, however you want? This is wealth. Wealth is abundance. I often tell people that every man needs 3 relationships in their life. In order for you to have balanced life as a man, you need 3 relationships. First, you need a mentor. Somebody that has gone the path that you want to go, that can instruct you and take you down the road, avoiding the pitfalls and avoiding the mistakes and avoiding the troubles that come that way. You need a peer, somebody that is at your level, at your equal, that you can mastermind with, that you can build a think tank, that you can go back and forth and discuss and argue and develop business. And then you need a mentee, whether it's your young brother or somebody that you bring into your business or an employee, somebody that you pour yourself into. Why? Because those people keep you accountable. Those people are the ones that check you. You know, you often have your little sibling, he'll ask you questions and he'll check you with authenticity and honesty and ask you shit. You're like, oh, whoa, like this kid's paying attention, right? Yeah. So every man in his life needs 3 relationships. And under those 3 relationships, Capital Code's been built. Mentors, peers, and mentees. The more you know, the more you know. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. That means that an empty mind is open for mischief and doing bad things. When you occupy your time in developing your mind, your spirit, your soul, then that is what reflects. There's a verse in the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Right? So when you see people talking, and it's a reflection of what's inside. And the truth is, the price of progress is pain. The price of progress is pain. Most people do not want to experience pain. They like comfort. So if you want progress, you must be willing to, in the process, experience pain so that you may achieve your goal.